So the vote went out the other day. Yes, I'm sure that most of you went out to vote. For some reason, I didn't get the vote down in Somerset. Maybe where I came from, Weston-super-Mare, they were voting a different time. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want me to vote. I don't know. Bit annoyed about that. 1 second. The morning coffee before work. This little level here works quite well for filming. So, got speaking to some people over in Northern Ireland who I get along with rather well. I ain't going to mention any names, but I will say this much: they're loyalists. All right, we'll go that far. We're loyal to the crown. You know, they want to keep Northern Ireland part of the United Kingdom as much as I do. Well, obviously more because they live there. But I am pretty passionate about this particular subject myself. So I was speaking to one of them, right? And he knows some people who are part of organisations that are, I would say, now, why don't you put this gently? Prescribed. They're not. They were part of the Troubles originally, all right? And these organisations, if anybody thinks the paramilitaries have gone away, then they're talking out their arse. They're still very, very active on all sides, all right? So you got the Provos, right? That's the provisional IRA. Provisional, as in they haven't got their full licence. Just taking a piss. No, what it was, the original IRA. I'll give you a quick history, right? But this will be interesting. The original IRA, yeah, they didn't have L plates, right? Them ones. They didn't want to go down the violent road. So the provisional IRA sprung up with weapons, and Jerry Adams and Martin McGuinness, they were the ones that organised who was to be killed and who wasn't. And if anybody says otherwise, I'll call you a fucking liar. Interesting thing is, the rumour that keeps coming back is that both of them ended up on the British payroll. Oof, think about that, eh? I mean, the interesting thing is, apparently the driver to both of them was, or had been, approached by British intelligence. Now, over there you had the SAS collecting information and doing things. Then you had the DET, Force Reconnaissance Unit, the 14th, whatever. Anyway, these were the ones that went dressed around looking like the average provo or whatever, walking around the place, trying not to actually speak, in gaining evidence. One of them pulled up outside a house, and then Jerry Adams sat in his bonnet, and Jerry Adams nodded at him, and he nodded back. It's just fucking amazing. But anyway, all this shit fuckery went back on them. Now, to counter the provisional IRA, out come the UVF, the UFF, so the Ulster, and there was another one. But anyway, apparently these gangs are all still going, but rather than being in loyalism and stuff now, and rather the provisionals were always set, by the way, if anybody disagrees with this one, let me know. They were all about a united Ireland under a socialist government. That never changed, all right? And that's what they want. And they actually see their means through that, through the EU, just so you know. Bit like that fucking wanker down in Wales and that turd up in Scotland, all right? They're all trying to erode the union, just so you know. Now, you would think that anybody who was loyal to the crown, right, the UFF, the UVF, that kind of, those people, right, you would think that they would all come out and vote. Now, I've heard that some of them haven't, and some of these are really high ranking. I imagine a lot of them did. So, for you lot within these organisations and the loyalists who went out and vote, this isn't to you. All right, make this completely clear. This isn't aimed at you. All right, sit back and let me just take the piss out of those wankers who didn't do their bit. All right, good. Now, if you're a provo, you shouldn't have gone out and voted. Just kidding. Kidding. Sorry, shouldn't say that because yeah. Anyway, so you're a loyalist, right? Say you hate the provos. Okay, you want to stay loyal to your crown. What's the first thing you do? Say fuck the vote. Because we're all going to be part of United Ireland anyway. No, that's not the way. If your forefathers could have seen what you're fucking saying now, they turn in their fucking graves. And what really pulls on my Pilsner, right, is that you cunts that go south of the border and buy your drugs from the IRA. I mean, really? They're the fucking arch enemy. You lot at the moment are supposed to be out protecting your area, protecting loyalists, protecting good Christian folk, right? Making sure that nasty people don't fuck with them, right? Making sure that crime doesn't happen. What are you doing? You're peddling shit on the streets that you bought from the opposition. Wouldn't that be like a white supremacist skinhead going to a Muslim gang for their drugs? I mean, it's quite the most obviously stupid fucking thing. And quite frankly, if you're waving a British flag, a Union Jack, right, and you're calling yourself a loyalist, yet you're poisoning your own fucking people, and you're buying your drugs off the enemy, right, and you're not even fucking trying to keep the crown, part of the crown, then I'd suggest, well, part of sort of Northern Ireland, then I'd suggest you're a bit of a cunt, right? And you need to put down the flag, right? And you need to actually put up a new banner, organised fucking crime, all right? Because you're not what you say you are. And there's good people following you, probably giving you their support, and maybe even covering for you when you do a fuck up. Now, the only thing I can imagine is that probably these particular people, one of them in particular, went into Nick, and he had a car, expensive house, and came out and had it all still there. Now, I would imagine that maybe, because don't forget, British intelligence is still over there, right? I would imagine these people that didn't go out to vote, that are selling drugs to their own people, are probably also the same people that would be informing on others. You know, the real loyalist, all right? Now, this will get me in a lot of scorn and trouble. I don't fucking care, because I am loyal, all right? I love my country. I might not be so impressed with the Queen that's in at the moment and the people underneath her, but that doesn't say I don't want a fucking monarchy. And it certainly doesn't say that I don't want to keep Ireland part of the United Kingdom, in the same way that I want Scotland and Wales to remain, because I rather fucking like them. And I made the effort to go over there numerous times, and I will be coming back, so if you don't fucking like me, you can come and speak to me direct, you cunt, right? But if you're one of those pricks that waves a British flag around and calls yourself a fucking loyalist, and, as I say, buys his drugs off the fucking provost, won't go out and vote, right, and peddles puke on the streets to the rest of your people, you're a fucking piece of shit. Rant over. Now, there is something else to mention from this, that the Loyalists did actually come out and vote, a lot of them, not as many, nowhere near as many that should have done, right? And I'm going to go through the percentage and the figures Wednesday daytime, right, with some of my Northern Irish friends who are going to go through the figures properly. But it's not the shitstorm horribleness that the mainstream media are painting, although it ain't good, all right? And if you are a loyalist, here's the thing. Even if you're not a loyalist, right, there are Catholics up the north that want to keep the things the way they are, right? Good on you, okay? There are Catholics down in the south that don't want a united Ireland, all right? So it's like this. If you're happy with the status quo, the way things are, right, and let's be honest, there ain't no fucking trouble, although that border in the North, in the Irish Sea, we've got some news on that as well, so I won't say any more here, right, is problematic. And what obviously the European Union are doing and what our government are doing to try and stir up troubles in the hope that everybody capitulates and they can off-hire Northern Ireland, which, to be honest, our government don't want Northern Ireland anymore. That's quite clear. Reasons? Well, it's obviously there's financial interest in it, and obviously they've been paid mightily by people above them, all right? Our government are traitors to the people, right? End of. And the Northern Irish government are traitors to the people. The DUP, they promised to come out and do so much and all of a sudden shafted its own people, so everybody fucked off to the other groups flipping the vote. Was that meant to be? Did they do that on purpose? You tell me. I don't know. But there's always been shit fuckery over there. And the loyalist people of Northern Ireland have been shit on from the highest fucking heights. I can't say that the Catholics weren't shit on either, all right? So, but the Catholics have got old Sinn Féin, eh? Ha! Fuck me, unbelievable. Now, some of the members and the politicians over there are meant to be standing up for sexism, racism, inequality, and all the rest of it. And they came out, and what is it they called somebody? A pale, stale male. That's ageist. That's sexist. Oh, and that's racist. Can you see the irony here? Is it amazing? By the way, there's people walking past. They can hear me talking in the van. They're like, what's going on in there? So it's quite funny. But I'm just amazed. I am fucking amazed. But literally, if you want to keep Ireland part, or Northern Ireland part of Great Britain, you're going to have to work at it. We all are. Because otherwise they'll just fucking take it away. And then what will you have? Raging immigration. Look at the south, right? I predicted going back a while back that they would take over 1 million Muslim immigrants. I was right. But now, oh yes, they want another 1 million from the war zone that they've just created, eh? And the prostitution over there down in the south has gone through the fucking roof because that seems to be a trade. Oh yeah, Ukraine. Not just bad for dodgy motors in the 80s, but prostitution aplenty. Thank you very much. Mind you, with the Zelensky or whatever as the leader, you'd expect that really, wouldn't you? Because let's be honest, anybody who plays a piano with his fucking degenerate play. Do you realise how much unbelievable amount of money that cunt's got? What did you think he did that, earning playing the fucking piano with his cock? No! He's a puppet and he's being fucking paid for. Whether he makes it out of this whole thing in good order, I don't know, because there's a lot of people out there that don't like him. No. The world is a shit show and it's going to get worse. And all you can do is do the right thing. All you have in life is your word, your faith. And if you don't have your faith, that's up to you. Personally, I mean, me and him might disagree a few times, but fuck me, I need his help. So, your word, your faith, your honour. Do the right thing. That's all you can do. After that, nobody can expect any more of you. But if there's a tough choice ahead of you, taking the easy route will do two things to you. In the long run, it will fail you. And and about the short run and the long run, you'll feel bad about it. Now, all of these times you felt bad for doing the wrong thing, it all stacks up until you have a pretty low opinion of yourself. That's bad. Mental health problems then, mate. All right? And if you've got a bad opinion of yourself, everything's low. Your energy's low, your immune system's low, your moods are low, you bring everybody else around you down. Why is it that the most impoverished bloke could have a smile on his face and the richest degenerate be miserable the whole time? Why is it pop stars go off and kill themselves? Now, I should imagine there's a lot going on behind the scenes in the industry that's fucking terrible that they've got involved in. But generally speaking, when you have a dream and you set your eyes on wealth and you set your eyes on objects and stuff like this, when you get those things, you don't get the feeling you expected you were going to get off them. And then you're left empty again. You've got to go hunting. This is why you see some of the greediest people unhappy. And that man in Africa with his goat that's well, pleased as punch. He didn't expect anything out of life, but he knew how to get happiness because happiness can't be bought. Happiness has to be worked for. I've probably said this numerous times in different videos. Do you know how I got happy? I stopped expecting stuff from the world. We're all brought up to expect so much from the world. The world owes you fuck all. Me, you, nobody, nothing, right? And you cannot buy it, which is what we're trained at school. And as we grow up, and the music industry tells us, and the film industry, and the papers, and everything tells you, you've got to get this car, or that house, or these clothes, or that phone. And none of this makes you happy. But honour, oh fuck me, honour makes you happy. Can put you through a lot of hardship, by the way, but it makes you happy. Look how many jobs I've been booted out of for keeping to my word. Ain't got me down. Might have been a bit shit at the time, but for every good deed you do, right, somehow life will reward you, but that's not why you do them, all right? What I'm trying to get to here is the people above us are going to try and take everything off us anyway. So having low morals now and trying to get everything you can now while the time is still there, right, it's going to get taken off you if they get their way. So what you be then? A baseless, moralless person who nobody trusts their word, nobody believes in, that has nothing. The richest man in the graveyard. You heard that saying before? Or you can get your morals about you now, get your integrity, get all the other things that go along with being a good person, man, woman, whatever. And as they asset strip everybody else, you'll have something that none of these people can pay for. You'll be morally rich. But to say that is actually probably a sin. But you get what I mean. Just do the right thing. So going back to Northern Ireland, that means making an effort, coming out in the streets, banging a drum, going out and voting, lobbying fucking people, emailing people, doing whatever it takes to cause as much fucking earache and heartache to the powers that be so they capitulate. Because that's what it's going to take. Because let me tell you this, if you went back to a united Ireland, you haven't got to worry about the provos this time. What you'll have to worry about is a conquering army that wants to do the whole lot of you. All right? Bear that in mind. Well, not just that. You're having the army trained up to hate you. But we'll do that video Wednesday night. All right? Anyway, I'll see you in a bit.